Hello Street Fighter fans, and welcome to Southside Noob's coverage of the 2012 patch notes for Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. We're going to be bringing you all the characters in alphabetical order for your convenience to search through and find your favorites, starting with Abel. So Abel, not getting anything too game-changing, starting with his crouching hard punch, he did receive a buff to it as an anti-air, just improving the hitbox, and as always you are still able to combo afterwards, like a throw setup here. Next up, his tornado throw, still one of the best moves in the game. As a grab, it has a great startup, and all they did to it was increase the damage on it. So each version does an extra 10 damage, and we'll just go ahead and demonstrate all the versions for you here. Next up, the Breathless received additional invincibility at the startup. So just like you see there, Ryu's kick will go straight through. So he did not put the hit back in it. However, it is still definitely good on wake up. And in addition, the throw invincibility has been taken away after you start the dash. The second hit on change of direction, when you do the low, is now focus cancelable, as you see here, just allowing Abel for some more mix-up opportunities and additional combos. Next up, we have our changes to Adon, starting with his focus. His focus got a buff to it. It'll now hit lower opponents. For example, El Fuerte's slide will be effective. And next up, we have standing middle punches got a slight nerf. It now has more frames for Adon to recover when it is blocked. The Jaguar Revolver got a buff. It'll no longer go over crouching opponents. That did happen in certain situations. That has been fixed. Also, in the air, when Jaguar Revolver connects in the air, it will go ahead and finish up that animation and complete the combo. Rising Jaguar now is super cancelable, so as you see it does whiff. However, if the opponent is blocking, you can guard damage them to death using that. The Jaguar kick did receive a nerf to its damage. In addition, the hitbox has been adjusted so it'll be easier to hit Adon. So that's generally a straight nerf to the Jaguar kick. Next up, we have Akuma. Akuma did receive, I think, more nerfs than buffs. Starting out, we have his grab. His grab has now 2 more frames than usual, which is more just an animation change, or fix I should say, than anything else. Ultra 2, Demon Armageddon, has 20 more damage when cancelled from the teleport like that, trying to encourage people to use it as a counter to people who would try to punish his teleport. Next up, we have his Demon Flip. This received a nerf. Now the punch version is no longer an overhead. As you see, Ryu can block low there and just be fine. The standing hard kick received 2 nerfs. 1 in the damage, it is now 20 less damage overall. And in the frames, when blocked, you have 2 less frames, so they can be easier punished. The Demon Flip EX version received a buff. You can throw 2 fireballs like that. It's improving Akuma's Vortex game. And congratulations, Balrog fans, you received nothing but buffs in the 2012 patch. We're going to start with Buffalo Headbutt. This just does increased damage. Each version is up in damage from last patch, so this is just another straight buff for Balrog. Next up, we have Dirty Bull. This is easier to do now. They bring it back to the way it was in Super Street Fighter 4, and also does more damage, 300 up to 399. The Dash Swing Blow Overhead now has more hit stuns, so you're able to combo just like that much easier. The Near Standing Hard Punch now hits crouching opponents, even smaller opponents like Ryu where it used to whiff. Alright, next up we have Blanka. Blanka got some buffs and some nerfs. Let's talk about the buffs to his roll first. Now it does 10 more damage on each version of the roll, light, medium, heavy, and EX. The EX got a significant buff though. If you are in melee range, it'll now knock down and allow you to do some combos after it. So this is some basic combos we figured out day 1. I'm sure there's going to be some more in the future though. Let's see, also then his Rock Crusher now does additional hit stun and does not push your opponent back as far on block. The EX Vertical Roll now knocks down on hit. However, if they block it, they will have more chance to punish you as you have more stun and do not get pushed back as far. Alright, Cammy players, if you liked her in the last version, you're going to love her in 2012. Not much has changed at all. The Hard Spiral Arrow now has different active frames. It comes 5 frames later. The Quick Spin Knuckle only had 1 change, and it's on block. When your opponent blocks, they get pushed back less far. Other than that, unchanged. Alright, Chun Li fans, let's talk about her nerfs and buffs. Starting with the Head Stomp. The Head Stomp is now performed either with down or down and forward. making it a little bit easier to perform those head stomps. Next up, we have the hard spinning bird kick. This received a nerf to the damage, I'm afraid. However, now you can also link this from a standing fierce punch. Her Ultra 2 received a buff to its startup, now a 9-frame startup as opposed to a 10-frame startup. And Ultra 1 is back to the way it was in Super Street Fighter 4, so the combos should go back to the way they were in Super Street Fighter 4. The back plus medium kick now has longer stun for your opponent on a counter hit, and now you can also do the follow-up while they're crouching. Hard crouching kick received a buff to the stun, now 150 as opposed to 100. The EX Lightning Legs now launches Chun Li forward, ensuring that it will combo. The standing near punch now has less flinch for Chun Li on hit, and the crouching light kick now has a better hitbox. And congratulations, Cody and Cody fans, definitely some of the better buffs to come out of 2012. We're going to start off with what seems like a minor one, is the walk speed. He now walks forward and backwards at a faster speed. And his hammer hook got improvements to its hit stun and block stun, making it just a little bit more effective a move. And again, look at the range, that is just a great move in general. I won't go over all the changes with the knife, just know that there was a lot of changes to the normals, all of them buffs. And now when you pick up the knife, you will also be able to block immediately. And also you can now hammer hook while holding the knife. Bad Spray now does 2 hits as opposed to 1, and now it is super cancelable as you see there. The X-Zonk Knuckle, minor change, it now knocks your opponent slightly further back. Not too much different there. The Ruffian Kick has a better hitbox now, just expanded the hitbox for the medium Ruffian Kick. Next up, the Jumping Middle Punch just received a buff to the hitbox, as now hits up and down just a little bit more. Next up, Sea Viper. She had some pretty significant changes. We'll start out with her Ultra 1 doing 40 less damage, however, it does link easier in combos now, while her Ultra 2 received a 30 damage increase, so that's something to look forward to for Viper players if you like using the Burning Dance. Next up, we have Thunder Knuckle. The medium punch version received a nerf on the damage, however the fierce version received a buff in that it is throw invincible now on startup. The EX Thunder Knuckle has a faster startup now, making it easier to catch jumping opponents, and Viper has a little more stun after. The EX Seismic Hammer is no longer throw invincible and does 20 less damage, pretty significant nerf there. The Aerial Burning Kick now does 10 less damage, but now some new possible combos after the EX version hits in the air. Next up, we have Dan. Dan got some buffs and some nerfs, so we're going to start with his Tatsu in the air. It now is fully connectable after a cancelled uppercut. The EX version can also be performed lower to the ground, while the hard kick version in the air got a 30 damage increase, and on the ground got a 10 damage increase. His super will now connect fully on any opponent, as before it had some problems on shorter characters. Now when you're to the ducking taunt or the jumping taunt, you will be given meter as opposed to nothing in the previous version. It's about half a meter for 2 taunts. For the close standing medium punch, it has a 1-frame faster startup, and the close standing hard kick will not launch your opponent back as far, and also his sweep got a 2-frame upgrade.